Let's bring in our legal team now. Chief Legal Analyst Dan Abrams, also Kate Shaw, Professor of Law at Cardozo Law School. Dan, let me begin with you. It appears that the Democrats are making largely an emotional argument, Republicans making largely a procedural argument.
Right. You're going to see the House managers serving as storytellers here. You're going to see a lot of video. You're going to see them trying to tell a story about what happened starting even before Election Day, where President Trump starts talking about voter fraud, and that the language increasingly becomes more incendiary, more aggressive, leading up to January 6th, and then on January 6th itself, what he says. But the pictures are going to be critical. For the Trump team, you're going to see more lawyer-like arguments, talking about the constitutionality of the proceeding, the First Amendment. And when you're talking about a proceeding that is, in the end, a combination of political with legal phraseology, it's not surprising that you're seeing this battle of emotion versus law.
Okay, Dan, let's bring in Kate. And Kate, we do see most Republican senators coalescing around this argument that you can't try a former president. Senator Schumer calls that a fringe theory. Where's the weight of constitutional scholarship on this question?
Yeah, I think that Schumer probably goes a little too far in calling it a fringe theory. I think it's a plausible theory that, it's only current office holders who can be subject to impeachment and trial. But certainly the strong weight of authority is in favor of the permissibility of a proceeding like this. If the offense happens when an official is sitting in government, and here the impeachment in the House happened while President Trump was still in office. And so, it seems as though from perspectives of logic and history and past practice, we have done this before. That there is no constitutional obstacle to proceeding this way. And indeed, every historian and legal scholar, I would say the vast majority of historians and legal scholars who have looked closely at this question have concluded that the president's argument is just wrong and that this trial is perfectly constitutionally permissible.
Meantime, Kate, we saw that 78-page brief from the president's lawyers yesterday. They're saying that this is a political witch hunt, basically. They're saying that the president had a First Amendment right to say what he said, saying he didn't incite the riot as well. What is their strongest argument?
I do think that they will rest on these legal procedural arguments that the First Amendment protects the speech. I don't think it's a strong argument. The First Amendment maybe doesn't apply with full force in an impeachment proceeding anyway. This isn't a judicial proceeding where ordinary First Amendment doctrine would be binding. But even if it were, I think there's a very strong argument that this is incitement, right? Incitement of violence or incitement of insurrection is a type of speech that is just outside of the protections of the First Amendment. But I do think that it seems as though both the argument about timing and the argument about the First Amendment are going to be front and center. We're not going to hear many arguments in defense of the substance of the president's conduct here.
Dan, convention we know is unlikely quickly. So what is a win then for House impeachment managers?
I think if more independents around this country walk out of this impeachment proceeding and believe that the president is responsible and should be held accountable, when you view this as a political proceeding, that, I think, would end up being a win for them in a sense of accountability.
Dan, Kate, our entire political and legal team will be joining us this afternoon for the live coverage of the trial. That starts about 1 Eastern. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.